Chapter 1.38 The Haven of Lost Data. What they had witnessed on the square burned a brand into their minds. Now fear was no longer just a premonition but knowledge. It drove them forward faster than any pursuit could. Lilith, usually full of biting remarks, kept silent. Her silence was heavy, dense, and John did not dare to break it. He simply followed her, trusting her instincts, which were sharpened to the limit. They reached the edge of the Kowloon Mire. Before them stood the entrance to the abandoned Moon Express station. But there was no entrance as such. The wall of the station was a massive, flickering glitch. The texture of concrete kept shifting into static, like on an old TV, briefly revealing a black, hollow gap. "Sync with me," Lilith said curtly. "We jump on the third flicker. Miss it, and you'll either get smeared across the restored texture or thrown into the void between the code." She started counting, rocking on her heels. 1, 2. On 3 she leapt, and her body vanished into the gap a heartbeat before the wall became solid again. John, without hesitation, jumped after her. He wasn't pulled into the void. He was pulled into silence. After the deafening roar of the city, the silence of the haven was almost physical. They stood on a dead platform. The rails were covered in something like digital moss, glowing faintly green. The air was still. There was no rain here. This place looked like a refugee camp for broken ideas. Along the walls sat avatars, but they were wrong. A woman whose face was half normal, half a kaleidoscope of shattered textures. A man frozen in eternal falling, never touching the ground. From an old speaker came a looped fragment of dialogue from some soap opera, turned into a local ghost. Their arrival did not go unnoticed. The silence shifted into a hostile whisper. From the shadows of the tunnels, the inhabitants of the haven began to gather. Their movements were jerky, broken. They surrounded John and Lilith, their eyes filled with fear and suspicion. Newcomers here meant danger. They could have brought the erasers with them. "They're not from here," rasped one whose hands kept changing shape. "Their signature clean, too clean." The circle was tightening, but then the crowd parted. An old man was slowly walking toward them. He was the most whole of anyone John had seen here, yet his skin was translucent, and beneath it, like tattoos, lines of green code drifted slowly. In his hands he held a tablet that seemed to be part of him. "Archivist," Lilith whispered. The old man stopped before them. His eyes, ancient and weary, scanned them with unnerving insight. An anomaly within an anomaly, his voice rustled like the sound of an old magnetic tape. "You are not broken. You are other. Why are you here?" "We seek refuge," John answered, stepping forward. "We saw the purge. We know the system hunts errors." "You are the error," the archivist stated flatly. "Your presence here endangers us all. Leave." "We can be useful," John pressed. "We know something you don't. We know that the purge leaves a trace, a signature." John closed his eyes, concentrating, and mentally reproduced the complex, rune-like symbol he had seen on the square. The archivist froze. The code beneath his skin quickened for a moment. Slowly he raised his eyes to John. For the first time, there was a spark of genuine interest in them. "This signature," he whispered. "I have cataloged its appearances. Dozens of times. I thought it a system scar, but I did not know it could be seen and remembered. You see the process itself." He was silent for a long time, studying them. The crowd behind him waited for his judgment. "Very well," he said at last. "I will grant you refuge. In exchange for information. You are now my most valuable exhibits, my chance to finally catalog the logic of this madness." He turned and beckoned them deeper into the tunnels. "Come, you wanted to know how this prison works. I will show you its library card." John and Lilith exchanged glances. They had found their haven, but they had just become exhibits in the collection of the strangest librarian in the universe. It was a fragile alliance, but an alliance nonetheless. And in this quiet, dusty darkness, for the first time in a long while, they felt they could finally catch their breath.